Welcome to Contractor Cuts, where we cover the good, the bad, and the ugly of growing a successful contracting company.
Hi, welcome to Contractor Cuts. My name is Clark Turner.
I'm Jared Flo.
Thank you for joining us again. So, we are entering the holiday season right now, and so we thought we would pause and take a week to talk through how do you prepare your company so you don't lose steam during the holidays. And this is, I know it's going into Christmas, New Year's, all that time right now, but this is really good for any time throughout the year that you're taking time off. If you're taking time off, let's say going on vacation during the summer to the beach, or your Thanksgiving, or whenever you're taking and trying to get your time away, or and need to be able to just turn the phone off, turn the computer off. How do you prep for that?
Trying to limit your need to be on the computer and on the phone the entire time you're out with your family or on vacation.
And you don't want to lose steam for next week, right? You don't want to lose coming up. So how do you be able to really rest during the holidays, take time off during the holidays, set your clients and crews up for success during the holidays, and then also not lose steam going into the new year post-holiday?
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest issues we've ran into in the past is we're killing it all year round, and then all of a sudden Thanksgiving hits and we kind of stumble for a week or two, don't have jobs coming in.
It's harder to get in touch with people. They're not replying back to you.
I expected X amount invoice this month, and then all of a sudden I have a week and a half of jobs pausing unexpectedly because crews called in and said, oh, yeah, I'm not working
or
this
the client
week.
pushes and says, look, I got family coming in 2 times in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna pause for 2 weeks.
And so the revenue expected drops by 30%, and then all of a sudden we got a negative month. And then Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, whatever, at the end of December and beginning of January hit, and all of a sudden your invoicing gets cut in half, 30 to 40% for 3 months in a row because you're not working in December. You don't have crews on job sites for the second half of December that you thought you would. You know, I've got this much work to get done that I've been doing month over month, and then all of a sudden I didn't realize it dropped off.
Well, and you can't wait till the week of to start trying to set yourself up for success. Right now, we're sitting in the first week of December, which is a perfect time to start looking ahead at the time that you're going to need off, that you want to take off, as well as what jobs do you have, what do you have going on, what crews do you have available, who's taking off, do your clients have time, are they okay if you're going to... Right now is the time to start making those phone calls and starting to work your schedule to stay on track and know what you can and can't do.
And honestly, we should have released this at the beginning of November because
no doubt.
We do this in November for our jobs coming into Thanksgiving, and then also right now in the beginning of December going into the holidays.
Right.
And then individually, our project managers will kind of do some of this stuff going into vacation or taking time off. Right. So we're going to walk you through step by step what you should do to prep for the holidays right now, this week, so you can enjoy your break, enjoy the holidays without stressing about what's going on and answering phone calls every day.
Right.
So getting started, the first thing you got to do when you're if you're sitting down today to start preparing for the holidays, you need to have every single job that is either currently working or will be on site, swinging hammers in progress through those holidays. Write them all out. Print out your estimates, print out all of the jobs that you've got going on. You know, in our software, there's a Gantt chart, and we have all of our jobs have a Gantt chart. So we can go in and look and say, okay, these are all the jobs that we will be working on site over the holidays. First, print all those out. We're going to start with looking at the labor and figuring out what labor is going to be here. So we look at that and we say, okay, these are all of the jobs I'll be on site. These are all the jobs that I think will be started, will be finishing. And I get my crew list together, and I say, okay, this crew is going to be out there, this crew is going to be out there, this handyman will be there, I need this plumber out there, but at some point near the end of December, we'll write all those people out, and then we'll call through them. Where this is an office day, this is sitting down and pre-planning the holidays. I call through those crews. I say, hey, you know, you're a crew, right, Jared? I call, hey, Jared, wanted to look at your schedule for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's, for the holidays. When are you taking any time off? What days can I depend on you? What days can I not depend on you? I might not have anything scheduled for you yet, but I want to get you booked up. And so
I'm working all the way through Christmas Eve. No problem with that. Okay. I'm taking the day of Christmas off and that weekend. I'll be back to work afterwards.
Great. I'm going to write you down. I'm going to get you some work for that time.
Yep.
So calling through all of your crews and writing down and knowing who is going to be available to me, who's going to be here, what jobs are you currently on that I didn't realize you're going to be off. A lot of times when we send a work order to a crew, on our work orders, it has a list of everything they're doing. It has the price I'm paying them, and it has the dates I need them to go. And so sometimes I'm not thinking about the holidays. I say, okay, I need you there from December 10th through January 4th, and because that's how long I think it's going to take. But I don't realize you're taking that week off in the middle. So I need to adjust my schedule to go through January 12th. January 15th.
And if you don't have this conversation up front, a lot of times what happens is your expectation is that they'll work, obviously not the holiday itself, but they'll work that week.
Yep.
And that Monday before the holiday, you all of a sudden you get a text and say, "Hey man, just FYI, I'm not working this week."
I'm out this
crap.
week. Yep.
Right.
Yep. And so now you're scrambling. You're trying to take time off, but now your homeowner thinks that someone's showing up. You think someone's showing up, and you got no labor there for the whole week. So you're running out yourself with your hammer and trying to get things finished for them. You're trying to scramble to find another crew. So getting that set up and understanding what crews are going to be on site is step one.
Right.
Who's going to be where? I'm going to sit here and over-organize my holidays. I know we usually fly by the seat of our pants often with labor, and I might not know what's happening even next week, but I'm going to start trying to look at what could be coming, who will be available, who can I count on, who can I call, and understanding your crew's holiday expectations of work. Once I have that down, I then look at my client list. All of these jobs, I think I can either be started. I should for sure still be on the job site. I should be closing out around the end of the month, so it might bump a little bit and end up being during the holidays. I'm going to call all of these clients and say, hey, I'm prepping our schedules for the holidays. What is your expectation of us being in your house? I've got my crew. We want to work the week between Christmas and New Year's. Are you okay with us being in there?
Right.
I don't know how many times we've expected a job, we got everything lined up, and we get a phone call that says, hey, yeah, no, I got family coming to town, so I need y'all out next week.
Leaving and I don't want anybody in my house when I'm not there or whatever. And I think one of the other things is something to consider is, one, like you said, are they going to be available? And if they are going to be available, are they comfortable with us coming in and doing work?
Yep.
There's also a reality that you might, the client might want you to, you know what, why don't we get this work done to this place and then stop?
Yep.
Let's say you're doing a kitchen and they say, you know what I'd like? If you can get the cabinets in and the countertops in, I don't care about anything else. Let's just stop there so I can function in my house with that.
Yep.
And so kind of working with the client of what will work for them and also what will help them during the holidays when, if they're going to take a week off or whatever and they've got no cabinets, no countertops, no working plumbing, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's assessing when are they available that I could get my crews in there and continue the work progress, and also working with what will work best for the client as far as what they're going to have to live in for a period of time if they've got family coming over or whatever.
Which I love that statement, because what you're saying is the core of everything we teach at Pro Serve Alliance is you need to understand what they expect versus what's going to happen.
Right.
And it either needs to match or you need to adjust what they expect, right?
Yep.
You, in your head, well, this kitchen will be pretty close to done. I'll at least have countertop space to put some of our food out, and my appliances will be here so I can cook. I don't need a backsplash. And that's what's happening in your client's head. In my head as a contractor, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to have those countertops in until probably January. But there's an expectation that they will be in. So 3 days before Christmas, 4 days before Christmas, you get the phone call and say, hey, when are the countertops coming in?
Next month.
Yeah, I haven't even ordered them yet.
Yeah.
And then now they are an unsatisfied client.
Which, again, why it's important weeks in advance, not the week of.
Yep.
It helps you set everybody up for success.
Yeah, and there's a lot of crazy expectations when it comes to holidays.
Clients
family.
would never have crazy expectations.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, you get around the holidays and it's emotional because my mom's coming in town for the first time in 10 years and my kitchen's a wreck. And so there's that side of the emotional baggage that you're dealing with as a contractor. When it's like, I didn't sign up for this. That's your fault. You didn't pick out your countertops in time.
Right.
But I didn't say that. We didn't set up front saying I need the countertops picked out by December 1st to have them in by the 22nd or whatever you're doing. So that's number one, is setting up your subs, your vendors, your labor, your handyman, however you run your labor, setting them up and understanding their schedule, then going to your client and saying, hey, this is when we want to be in, or this is when we won't be in, right? I've got a crew in your house. They're taking the week off between Christmas and New Year's. And so I want you to know that we're not going to be on site that day, and setting that expectation for them or that week. And so now that we've got both those organized, we're coming in let's say we get closer to the holidays. What I want to do as a contractor is make sure that I get as much time with my family as I can. So the next part of this is saying, okay, it's the week before everything's starting to hit. It's really, Christmas is on a Saturday this year. And so it's that Monday before Christmas, right before it. I wouldn't wait till Thursday, Friday, or before Thanksgiving. I wouldn't wait till Monday, Tuesday.
Give yourself time to prep and get ready.
Yep, but I would call my crew and say, listen, I am off next week. You get 2 phone calls anytime you want. I'll make Monday and Wednesday we'll do phone sales with Home Depot, or if you have a question about something, you get 2 phone calls. I'm going to answer the phone twice next week. Text me if you need anything else. I'm taking time off. I'm going to be with my family. What can I do to set you up while you're working and I'm not working?
Well, and I think if you've planned out, if you have a work order system, you know the items that are expected to be done.
Yeah.
And so you can go over that on that Monday with that subcontractor and say, look, when I get back, I expect for these things to be done.
Yeah.
And these are the materials you're going to need to do all of that.
Yep.
Go buy all of it right now.
So
I want you to buy all the screws.
Yeah.
I want you to buy all the caulking, everything that you need, so that you're not calling me in a frantic whatever on a Saturday or when I'm gone, and all of a sudden I don't answer and you're not able to buy what you need or whatever.
Yep.
Let's get everything purchased ahead of time so you don't have any problems.
Yep, and that's right on in terms of we are in charge of thinking through that stuff. How many times and how many inefficiencies do your job sites have when you have labor thinking through that themselves and not you, and they run to Home Depot 7 times in one day? And so that's a whole nother conversation of getting efficient on job sites. But that's extremely important here, because on a normal day I can make 5 phone sales with Home Depot. That's fine. I'm not doing that on vacation.
No.
I'm telling you, you get 1 phone call a day at max. And so use it wisely.
Well, and the reality is that until you get to a place where you have other project managers who are set up to kind of run on their own and be successful, and they're the ones dealing with your clients, and you're able to actually step out and get away and not take those phone calls. If you're not in that position and you're running all the jobs, the reality is that you're going to have to take phone calls. You're going to have to get on the computer. There's going to be some of that. And so if you can't really control, can control some of that with your clients.
Yeah.
You can control it with your subcontractors.
Yeah.
Setting them up to like, hey, I don't want you to call me. You've got opportunity if you need to, but I don't need you calling me 2-3 times a day.
Yep.
I want you to be set up to handle all this stuff. So instead of 10 phone calls a day, you may take 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But that's still allowing you a little bit more breath, a little bit more time to just relax and be with the family.
Yeah. And we allow and we set all of our project managers up, and you should do this yourself, is talk to the client, talk to the homeowner and say, this is when I'm going to be on vacation. I know that this is, I want to set your expectations. I am going to be with my family. I've got family coming in town. And, this is, I know, a short-term renovation for you, but this is 10 years of my life every single day. And so I need a break, and I need to be able to back off that. So next week, if you need me and it's on fire, feel free to text or email. I might not be able to get back with you right away because I'm going to be doing a lot of family things. But I would, if it can wait till the following Monday, I'm going to come out and walk your job site. If it can wait till Wednesday, that's when I'm going to do 1 walk in the middle of that week. So save it for that. Let's set up a time that I'm going to be on site on Wednesday, and we can answer any other questions you have then. If one of our guys knocks paint over on your hardwoods, please text me or call me. If there's an emergency, call me, text me. That's fine. But if you could help me, honor my family and get that time away, it will really help us when I come back in to really knock this out.
It's the same way if a client came to you and said, hey, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
I don't want to have all these phone calls and whatever. Then you would work to ask all the questions, set yourself up so you don't have to bother them, and then you roll with it. Because you want to respect their time and they want to respect your time.
And
At least you hope they want to respect your
If you're
time.
listening to this and say, I can never say that to my client because my client will get so angry, that means you've done everything wrong up to this point.
Yeah.
That means you got no trust built with the client. The whole goal of your job is you are their advocate and building trust with them. So when you say, hey, I'm going to take some time off, you might not like it, but you got to understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
And the client says, no, I totally get that. Everyone needs some family time.
Well, and where
during the
that becomes a
holidays.
problem is when you were supposed to be done with the job November, and it's now December, and you're like, I'm going to take some time off. You're like, what? Like, my house is a wreck. You were supposed to be done a month ago.
Yep.
So you got to choose your time
And
wisely.
if you've been communicating, though, the time frame all along, then it really diffuses that conversation.
That's right.
So, okay, so I've got all my crews lined up of who's working when.
Communicated with the client.
The clients all know exactly what to expect over the holidays from me and my crews. And so we get through the holidays. And then what's the last part of this, Jared, that really stings guys?
Well, and this comes from experience on our side of making mistakes like this, because you get into the end of November, Thanksgiving's hitting, we got family coming in, and then it's really easy to roll a couple more weeks, and now we're into Christmas, and then the weekend between Christmas and New Year's, there's just nothing going on, and then all of a sudden we're sitting in January going, okay, let's go. Well, I took the time off, and it was a slower season, and we know that's coming because there are 3 holidays right back to back to back. So my job progression is a little slower during that time. The problem is that if I'm not using that time wisely to look forward and forecast and set myself up for success, I've now got a minimalized December or end of year, and I'm rolling into January, and I didn't set anything up.
Nothing
and
on the
so
books.
I'm hitting January 1st, the first week. Well, people are still on vacation, so I can't get in touch with them. I'm in the second week of January, and I'm starting to drum up business that really isn't going to start until I estimate it and get approved. And now we're into February.
Yep.
I got 2 months that I've lost business, which it's a domino effect. If I don't have the business, a lot of times I'll lose a crew because they need the work and they'll go somewhere else. And so as you're rolling into the holiday season, starting in November, looking forward and saying, what do I have? What do I have forecast? Do I have jobs? Do I have things that are going to start in January? And if not, I need to go ahead and start working on some of that pipeline. Even if it's just a couple of jobs. You don't have to fill up the entire month, but you need to be able to start and hit the ground running beginning of the year, so you don't have a whole month beginning of the year that's just a zero balance. You made no revenue that month, but you have overhead cost or whatever, right? And in a business like ours where cash flow is hard, it's very hard to come by. I can't afford to have a month that I'm not bringing in income. Because as an owner of a company, essentially that means then I'm funding the company from my back pocket and not from the revenue in the company.
Which that's why most guys work over the holidays, because they can't afford that. You can't afford to slow down and take 2 weeks off, take a week off. I think one of the biggest things that you were hitting on right there is if you're not getting your pipeline built out, this is the most important time to have a pipeline. We sit down. We're doing this on our retreat, our annual planning retreat that's coming up January 17th and 18th, I think it is.
That's right.
We are sitting down and talking through how to build a pipeline and how to view your pipeline and how to assess that. We're doing that on day 2, I think, of the retreat. But most guys are flying by the seat of their pants. I know what I'm doing next week, and I got another client that wants to start next month. That's all I know. But being able to take that office time, taking 30 minutes to look at, okay, what's coming up? I've done 17 estimates, so I should land some of these. Or I've done 1 estimate, so I got nothing. I got to figure out how to get some more estimates. I need to email my old clients, and we'll talk through that. That's a whole nother podcast.
Well, and this business is stressful enough as is. Just the nature of the work that we do, it's stressful. You run into problems, you run into errors, finding crews. Like there's a lot of stress in it. And then you add on top of that, and most guys run this way, they just run the here and now. I've got a job right now, and I'm going to be profitable on this job, and they're not looking into the future. And so there's this constant burden of, am I going to have money next month? Am I going to have money next month? And working it doesn't have to be a year-long pipeline. It can be just 1 month in advance. Gives you a little bit of breath of, I don't have to worry about next month. I just need to be working right now to close out what I'm on and build the month after
If
that.
you've never tried to build your pipeline, if you've never really taken time to sit down and look at that, this is the one time a year that you should at least try.
Right.
Sit down one time and say, okay, what do I have the rest of December? What do I have in January? If you can do that and start looking at January, we can add it in later because it's less important, to be honest, in May when you got June because you know work's going to be there.
Right.
But right now, it's so important to start looking at that and calling clients and bumping clients and say, hey, I've got a slower January. I'd love to get you going. I can focus on your job. Would you like to get going? I know you're looking at a spring renovation. Can we go ahead and get that rolling after the new year?
Right.
But allowing you to start building and looking now for what January is going to be. Because if you don't, it's 2 months without money.
Right.
It always happens and
Right.
always slows down. And so that's one of the, I guess the third thing that I would say is first, organize your crews and set expectations of your homeowner. Second, set yourself up to take time away
Right.
by letting your crews know you're going to be gone and letting your homeowners know when you're going to be gone. And third, prepare for January because you're going to miss those weeks in December. That work gets pushed into January, so you don't start new work because you're just completing what you already started.
Yep.
And then January slows down too. If you can hit those three things, you're really setting yourself up for a relaxing, enjoyable holiday
Enjoy
season.
your holiday. Yeah.
And really launching you into 2022.
That's right. That's
Speaking
right.
of launching 2022, we mentioned earlier, we would love to see you on our annual planning retreat.
January 17th and 18th.
Yep. Please sign up online. We love to talk to you about what we do, how we do it. This isn't a huge expense. These retreats are usually $5,000 to $6,000. If you sign up for ProServe Alliance, which is very inexpensive, you can come on the retreat for free. If you don't like it, you cancel.
Yep.
It's very easy. It's very affordable. We try to make it to where the one-man shows can come and help grow them to the next level.
Yeah.
So
I'm super excited about it. I think
it's gonna be fun.
The idea that everybody that's coming, our goal is that everybody that attends this, the day they leave, they know exactly what their next step is.
Yep.
They have clear idea of how to move their business forward towards growth instead of just constantly running on the hamster wheel every day.
And it's a small group. It's I think we'll probably allow 2, maybe 3 more companies to come. But we try to keep it very intimate because we work individually on your companies.
That's right.
As a group. We all sit down and say, okay, you tell me yours. You tell me yours. What about this for you? And we work together. There's 1 or 2 breakout sessions where I'm going to lead a group and you're going to lead a group. But there's a real a camaraderie growth together. It's at a casino, so we have a little fun at night.
Oh, sure. But you get opportunity to rub shoulders with kind of your peer group that are all over the nation from different states.
Yep.
That you get to learn from people that are way further in front of you. You might be able to have somebody who's brand new that you can give them some advice. Kind of a great time to build some camaraderie and learn from each other.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.